Hello, hello. Return of the He-10 is right. Apologies for returning. Because if I return, that means that I was gone. And I do so hate missing streams, and I also hate being late. It's so depressing. It makes me so sad. So we had to cut the Baba stream short because of violent thunderstorms. And then I was like, okay, I'll stream more Baba and Final Fantasy on Sunday. And I didn't do that because I had family unexpectedly come in from out of town. I was like, oh, well, I want to go see them, so I did. And now today I am late because I was sleeping. It's like that. The whole point of shifting the schedule, because I used to start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Howdy, Foxen. Used to start at 7 p.m. Except that what would happen is I would go, okay, I just woke up. It's 6:48. I don't have time to eat and then stream, but I'll try anyway. So I'll eat, and then while I'm eating, I'm like, do I really want to like start the stream right now? No. So I would just not stream. It was like, oh, moving it up to 6 makes it so that, I'll just eat after stream, so no problems. Well, the problem is then I have to actually wake up at 6, which shouldn't be a problem, but sometimes it is. Beady beady beep. Alright. So this is only a 2-day trial, I'm sure. They didn't have us do an investigation, but it did go for 2 days. And we are now going to get the guy. What was his name? B. Amer? No, Ted Tonade. One health. I think the game might be bugged. I should have more health than that. Alright, let's review. This is the one with the different art? It is like 3D. This is the... It's hard to number them. Because there were 3 Phoenix Wright games, then an Apollo game, 2... Excuse me. 2 Edgeworth games, and I don't know what order they came out in, but then this is the, like, it's the 4th Phoenix Wright game, but it's still, like, Apollo Justice is still in the series, because Apollo is in this game, and it is taking place after his game. So it's kind of like the 5th in the series. But then, what do you do? Not count Edgeworth? Not count Professor Layton? Who knows? Oh, I see. Right, no, this is the 3DS one. This isn't the re-release of the trilogy. Alright. So we basically got this guy. We're just gonna press. Hold it! So you admit that you actually did see the bloody writing that Detective Arm left? My bad. I should have said so from the outset. And you are sure it was your ID number? I am sure it was definitely my ID number. That number was assigned exclusively to me by the police department. The number is assigned to my goggles as well. So those funky things were provided by the police department? Although these are special goggles customized by me personally. Oh, I think I did press on this before. Speaking of personalized, these sunglasses of mine were custom made as well. They were specially created to be particularly dark and shiny. Speaking of special, my gavel is made of mahogany and was custom made as well. It was specially created to make a particularly loud and resonating sound. Wish I had something to brag about. Be all of that as it may, I just want to reconfirm you saw the bloody writing clearly, and that it was your ID number? That is correct. My ID number was written in blood on the floor. So that was so specific that I think that's going to be the one we contradict, although I'm not exactly sure how. I think it's going to be because the rock is missing. I'm going to press on everything, though. Hold it! L10015R. And it was written after the bomb went off in the courtroom? Correct. Oh, that's what it is. I get it. Because she wasn't killed by the bomb. She was killed before the bomb went off. That's why she wrote it on the floor, but now one of the letters is missing because of the explosion. So we have proof that he killed, or that she died before the bomb went off. Correct. I didn't know why she would write it, so that sent me into a panic. Sounds like you were in quite a tizzy. If I were in his shoes, I guess it would have psyched me out, too. I can't imagine coming across the message, "Psychs," written in blood. Oh, we pressed on this, too. Did I press on everything and then end the stream? Probably. If I saw "gasp in pain" written in blood, it'd certainly make me gasp. Rest assured, Mr. Tonate, I understand how you must have felt. And so you discovered your ID number written in blood at the scene, and? That is right, I saw it with my own eyes. It very clearly said L10015R. But I did not detonate the bomb. Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad. My bad? Does he really think that will just magically smooth out everything? Well, it is a court of law. That is how it works. This guy is something else. And I don't believe Detective Arm's dying message was just some mistake. He won't wriggle out of this that easily. What did Mr. Tonate see when he first discovered the bloody writing? There has to be a contradiction hidden in his testimony somewhere. And it repeats, yes. Wrote my ID number very plainly. Alright, we're gonna do it. We're gonna present it. Yeah, look at that. Even if he did alter it, the R is missing.
Objection!
I object, sir. I just want to make doubly sure that L10015R is really what you saw written in blood. Yes, it very clearly said L10015R. But that's odd, because that's not what I see.
Objection!
What on earth are you babbling about now? Wasn't it you who claimed that the bloody writing was his ID number in the first place? Take a good look at the photo in the bloody writing analysis. Now tell me, does it really say L10015R? Uh-oh. Don't bite the wires. What are you, a cat? Something is missing, isn't it? And that something... And that something is the final R. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Tonate? Uh-oh. Oh, right, now I remember. There was no R on the end. It was just a slip of the finger. My bad. Come back, my beautiful contradiction. Mr. Wright, I'm not so sure it was just a simple slip of the finger. You have something for me, Athena? I sense that he's extremely agitated, almost panicked. He does look pretty flustered. No, eat the blue wire, not the red wire. Don't you know how to defuse a bomb? Eating the wrong wire. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears it was nothing more than a mere mistake. I don't know. Did he really just make a typo? What about that R? Did Mr. Tonate really see it? He actually saw it. Maybe Mr. Tonate really did see the R, but there's no R anywhere in the bloody writing. What's going on here? Huh? Now that I take another good look at the photo, I think maybe... That's it! What is it now, Mr. Wright? Are you trying to imitate Apollo and his cords of steel? I've got it. So that's what happened. A slip of the finger. Is that really all it was? Because I don't think so. I propose that Mr. Tonate really did see the letter R. But the photo clearly shows that there is no R. No, Your Honor, actually it was just the opposite is true. The photo shows that Mr. Tonate actually could have seen the R. If you're going to make that claim, then you'd better be able to point out what you mean. What part of the photo shows that Mr. Tonate could have seen the R? Why, it was this... No, it's right there. Oops.
Take that!
Please look here, to the right of the 5, where the R should go. Do you see a little bit of red? Oh, I see it. Just on the edge of where that floor is broken up. That's the R that Mr. Tonate saw.
Objection!
It's true that the witness wears some very, very odd goggles, but that doesn't mean his eyesight is bad. Nor his brain power. Brain power! What part of that little smudge looks like an R to you?
Objection!
But what Mr. Tonate saw wasn't that little smudge. There was a whole and complete R written there before the floor was damaged by the explosion. Oh, well, that explains it. Huh? Care to explain what you mean? Because you just proposed that everything happened in the exact opposite order. Yep, because that's the way it really went down. The timing of when the R was written turns everything about this case around like Gyakten Saiban. Now then, if the floor was damaged by the explosion, when was the message written? After the explosion. Oh no, I misclicked. With the bloody message running off the edge of the damaged floor like that, we can only conclude that it was written before the explosion. But that's ridiculous. If that were true, it overturns your own premise. That's right, it does. In fact, it turns everything upside down. The victim was not killed by the explosion in the courtroom. She was killed before the explosion ever occurred. Order. Order in the court. What kind of preposterous claim is that? Have you forgotten that the victim's body was found at the scene of an explosion?
Objection!
True, but consider this scenario. She was hit on the head and killed before the explosion, or even before the trial began. Her body was subsequently placed in the courtroom ruins after the bombing occurred. That way it could be made to look like she was a victim of the blast. What? Hey, yes, sir. Hello. Welcome. It sounds like we had better... look into what the victim was doing before the trial. Mr. Payne, did anyone see Detective Arm before the trial? Let's see. According to the police report... Ah, here it is. One person saw the victim before the trial. And that person was Ted Tonate. What? No one besides Mr. Tonate saw the victim? Don't they keep a record of who shows up in the courtroom? That appears to be the case, Your Honor. I would now ask the court to recall something. Specifically, Mr. Tonate's words from yesterday. It was when Detective Arm and I were transporting the bomb. Oh my! Mr. Tonate, just before the trial, you were with the victim. Fulton Phase is here! Courtrooms are cowboy territory. Is that so? You play fast and loose and fire from the hip? I believe you're correct. After all, who here can prove me wrong? Show the evidence. The two of you were together at the scene of the crime, courtroom 4. Your Honor, the defense requests new testimony from Mr. Tonate. We wish to hear what he has to say about his whereabouts just before the trial. Mr. Tonate, your testimony, please. My testimony, there is no need for He's completely unnerved, Mr. Wright. You must have hit the nail on the head. Because, all I did was transport the bomb to the 3-courtroom. I already CT told you, like Gauss. God, blast this thing. I was only in the courtroom with the victim because of our work. I swear I was only transporting the bomb there.
Objection!
You and the victim were alone together at the scene of the crime. In other words, you certainly had the opportunity to commit murder, did you not? Teeth, yes. That is, somebody's in the other room. They have the bomb defusal manual, and they told him to eat the red wire. Do you always leave yourself so open to attacks, Mr. Wright? What now, Mr. Payne? Yes, Mr. Tonate may have had the opportunity to kill Detective Arm, but an important piece of your assertion is missing. What important piece? The murder weapon. What do you claim was used to kill the victim? This I don't know, so we're gonna save. It's probably something ridiculous. Like a swimsuit with no gravel in it. Nonsense. Mr. Payne has a point. Even if Mr. Tonate had the chance, without a weapon we can't accuse him of the crime. Well, Mr. Tonate? Oh, yes, that's right. I didn't have any sort of thing that could be used as a murder weapon on me. I couldn't possibly have killed Detective Arm. Is there blood on the... It's cracked. Look at that. Open and shut case. Did he really have nothing he could use as a murder weapon? What is it, Athena? Just looking over the victim's autopsy report, I'm hoping there's something in here that can point us in the right direction. Well, it does say that she died from trauma to the back of the head with a flat object, and also the autopsy is only 1 sentence long. Yeah, and to inflict that specific kind of injury, all you would need is a flat surface, right? A heavy, blunt object with a flat surface could definitely be our murder weapon. Death. They died of death. It's right on the death certificate. It's right in the name of the death certificate. Well, Mr. Wright, can you indicate for the court what was used to kill Detective Arm? I believe I can. Believe being the key word here. You can? Then please do so now. What did Mr. Tonate have that could have been used as the murder weapon? Oh, I forgot that we had 12 pounds. That's not enough to kill someone.
Take that!
Mr. Tonate, you say you didn't have anything that could be used as a weapon. But in fact, you had the perfect thing. What? What the devil are you talking about? You had this. A stuffed animal. That's the bomb. I thought you were trying to prove that the victim wasn't killed by the bomb blast. It wasn't the Bakuhatsu, Your Honor. The bomb blast, no, but I believe Candace Arm was killed with this bomb. Because this is the blunt object that delivered the fatal blow to her head. Grog! We've had many opportunities to do the lost consciousness joke. Apollo lost consciousness earlier. Well, last stream, I guess. Please recall the description of Detective Arm's head wound. It's on sentence 1 of the autopsy report. Trauma to the back of head caused by impact with a flat object. We assumed this injury was sustained when her head hit the floor. But a blow from any flat side of this bomb would produce the exact same wound pattern. Gag. Ung. He What's with him? Any side except the one with the big round protrusion. This is a different bomb. The one we're looking at has a rectangular protrusion right there. And another rectangular antitrusion? Yep, it's a word. Then show me some proof. Where is the evidence that I hit the victim with the bomb? Ack! He's right. I don't have anything decisive. Did you find any of the victim's blood on the bomb? That would be decisive proof. But too bad. The bomb is blown to bits. It's long gone. Boom! Game over. Yeah. Game over. Yeah! Ugh. Mr. Wright, is there really nothing on the bomb in the photo? Arg! I don't see any blood or anything. Wait, the timer display is a little broken here. Maybe it broke when it made contact with Detective Arm's head. It's definitely a distinct possibility. But unless we find a fragment with the victim's blood on it, it's not going to count? It's not going to... I do have a law book here. Let me flip through and... Okay, yeah, he is right. It doesn't count. Ugh! I guess you're right. By setting off the bomb, Tonate managed to obliterate all traces of the murder weapon. What in the world do I do now? At times like this, I've got to change things. I've got to change gears and look at things in a different way. Instead of looking for the things he wasn't able to hide, I should be looking for a way to expose the things he did hide. What? It's too bad that the whole, like, I'm sure that the Gyakten theme of Phoenix Wright is entirely lost in translation. I think there probably are, every single time that they've said that, I need to look at it and reverse it, that it's made more sense in Japanese. But it's okay. I understand your heart, Phoenix Wright text. Ted Tonate murdered Detective Arm before the trial started. Actual Chesban Kurikaisu. Then he placed her body in the courtroom after the bomb went off, which means there was something he needed to keep hidden until then. And I think I have just the thing. Time to present the photo that shows exactly... Well, don't we only have one photo? Oh, wait, what's this? No. No, we have several photos. Oh, I didn't even look at this. DNA analysis for the victim with blood of the right end. What he had to hide. Oh, is stolen before the blast and is now missing. Sure.
Take that!
Your Honor, please take a look at this. The fact that Mr. Tonate hid this makes it decisive evidence for my case. Damn it! I'm not sure what you mean by that, Mr. Wright. I'm not sure either, Your Honor. Me either. Here's a penalty to inspire to make one represents your own. That's enough. I see no need to further prolong this trial. The defense's case is insufficient to overturn the prosecution's claims, which is how court works. This court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods, who at this point isn't even in the courtroom anymore. Didn't they let her go? Didn't we prove she had a stuffed animal that makes her not guilty? Okay. And then they put it on the outside. Okay. Interesting. So you don't actually have to... You don't... That's strange. I mean, I'm grateful for it, but... in other Phoenix Wright games, when you get a game over, you have no choice but to reload your save. Here, it looks like they just go, okay, if you run out of health, just keep going. Yeah, full bar again. Oh well. Woods! What if I just walk... What if I just walk back into the courtroom after the verdict? It is funny that it showed it that way. It's like... Guilty. I'm back. I'm back. I just walk right back in. Okay, so... I guess this isn't a photo, so that should have been... It says is now missing. I thought that was the keyword. Very well. Is there gonna... Are we... I thought maybe one of these pictures would actually show the detonator somewhere. Here's the badge. Very important. Like we can't see the detonator here. I'm pretty sure we're looking for this, the remote. Is it there? Is it underneath that piece of, like... Is it broken, but he just put a rock on top of it? Alright, fine. I'm going for it.
Take that!
No. Well, that was a spectacular belly flop, but I can't back down now, even if they kick me out of the courtroom because court's over because they said guilty. Reconsider what he could have hidden. I did present this last time, right? I didn't, like, misclick. So we tried these photos. We tried this. There ain't a whole lot more that I can present. Never happened, can't prove it. Not never, not ever. The photo that shows what he had to hide. He had to hide the paintbrush. Surprised. I thought that was it. That it was like, oh, the ground is broken here, but he put the detonator underneath. I don't know. Let's see this.
Take that!
It was not that. Hid my badge. So at this point, we've done this, we've done this, we've done that. So it's either badge, autopsy report, did he didn't like plant this, right? No. Did he hide the case? The giant case? They're saying photo. I mean, this is a photo, so I'm gonna present this.
Take that!
It wasn't that. Yeah, it was. Okay. Your Honor, there's something we've all been overlooking 3 times already. If the murder took place before the trial... Oh, he had to hide the dang old body. He had to hide her body by putting it inside the case. Right. The Mr. Tonate would have had to hide the body somewhere during the trial. Hey, you're right. And if we can figure out where that hiding place was... Exactly. We might be able to find some evidence we can pin him down with. I should have known that earlier, because I even thought earlier. Wait. It's in there. Isn't that what I just said? Wait.
Take that!
Wait, a box big enough for a body. A box that was in the courtroom the whole time. A box nobody would touch if they thought there was a bomb in it. A box containing gravel to put into a swimsuit. Mr. Tonate. What is it? Do you finally have some decisive evidence to show me? No, you're the one who's going to show it to me. Come again. You heard me. Now, show me what's inside that bomb transport case. What? Why? No, there's no need. I've got him now. Just before the trial, you killed the victim with a blunt object, and then you placed her body in the ruins of the courtroom after the bomb went off. Clearly, you were trying to make it look like she died in the explosion. But where was the body hidden during the trial? Oh, I hadn't thought of that. The answer is right here. Inside a box made of thick alloy plating that can withstand any impact. No, that's completely false. If it's false, you should have no objections to showing us your transport case. So, let's open it up and take a look inside, shall we? Oh, it was just him. He typed out 12 dots and then said, let's not. Not if you value your life. What's he up to now? Remain calm and listen carefully. This bomb will detonate in 5 minutes. What? Huh? I repeat, this HH-3000 will detonate in 5 minutes. What's going on? Your Honor, I recommend you adjourn this trial before this bomb goes off. Mr. Tonate, are you threatening me? I am the only one who can disable this bomb. If you do not want to die, your only option is to listen to me. Almost as if they should have taken the bomb away from the bomb expert suspected of bombing and murder. But Mr. Tonate, didn't you say that that's just a training model? A fake to practice on? I did, but I also lied. This is the real deal. This is the HH-3000. But the HH-3000 was used to blow up courtroom number 4, wasn't it? How do you know it was the real HH-3000 that blew up courtroom number 4? Huh? The bomb that blew up the courtroom was a different one. One that I made. What? Then are we to take that as a confession on your part? take it any way you would like, just before the trial. I took the HH-3000 out of the stuffed animal and put my own bomb into it. That was the bomb that exploded and destroyed Courtroom 4. Mr. Tonate, please be reasonable. Do you really expect us to believe a crazy story like that? The HH-3000, it is so unique. I had never seen anything like it. It is so unique that I could not replicate the detonation mechanism, so I just had to have it. Besides, did anyone look inside the stuffed animal during the trial? Did anyone check to see if it really was the HH-3000 in there? I must confess, no one opened the stuffed animal to check. So there really is a possibility that the bomb was switched out? No, not a possibility, a certainty. I did it. So he's had a real bomb with him this whole time. But he said that he didn't. You had better get out of here while you can. You do not have much time. Rabble, 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 rabble. Order! Order in the court. Everybody remain seated and silent. I'm out of here. It's gonna blow. Run! You four are still here. Well, well, aren't you brave? It just wouldn't do for the judge presiding over this case to run. But that horrible explosion the other day... The judge looks like he's about to book it for the nearest exit any second. And Mr. Payne... that is... Oh! And he's off. Don't worry, if the bomb does explode, all we have to do is walk out of the courtroom and walk back in afterwards. Mr. Wright, what do we do? Ugh! It'd be pretty pathetic to run away from an armed bomb, wouldn't it? But the bomb might really go off. Only 3 more minutes, folks. So, oh, it didn't let me stay on that screen. Is that bomb really the HH-3000? What should I do? I can't run now, for no reason. Well, it's been fun, but I will be going now with my dear, dear HH-3000 naturally. Oh, and by the way, I would advise against having me followed, even with no remote switch. This bomb can still be triggered manually. If I think I'm being followed, I will detonate it on the spot. Farewell.
Hold it!
You're not going anywhere, Ted Tonate. Oh. Your Honor, there's no reason to be afraid. That bomb is a fake. Are you sure, Mr. Wright? No. When has Phoenix Wright ever been sure of anything? More of your famous bluffing, even at the risk of your own life. Mr. Wright, none of your bluffing now, not at a time like this. Lives are on the line here, unlike the people who were almost wrongly sent to the death penalty. I'm not bluffing, and I have proof. Do I? You do? Yes, of course, Your Honor. It's right here in the photo of the bomb, clear as day. Proof that Mr. Tonate's bomb is not the real HH-3000. Really? Out with it then, immediately. Good question. I mean, we've only seen the other 2 sides of it, where the wires are. Is it the top where there's the yellow striping?
Take that!
Proof is here? Mr. Wright! Are you guessing at a time like this? I'm sorry, Your Honor. Let me try again. The clock. He actually showed us the clock side. He turned it around for us just now, at the end. Okay. That face. Ugh. If the bomb doesn't get us, the judge definitely will if you don't get this right. Try again, Mr. Wright, and no guessing this time. Where is the proof? We only just now saw the other side. Actual genius breezes through the first try. Being a genius doesn't help for this game. The display for the timer on the bomb in the photo is broken. Most likely it broke when Mr. Tonate used the bomb to attack Detective Arm, but the display on the bomb in front of us is not broken. So this is a bomb that he made himself, which could be real. Oh, you're right. Therefore, this is not the real HH-3000. Mr. Tonade was clearly lying when he said he switched out the bomb in the stuffed animal. The real HH-3000 blew up in courtroom number 4. This bomb is nothing more than a fake, a model used for training purposes. We still have absolutely no evidence of that. Grand! Fear not, Your Honor. I will examine the inside of the bomb transport case myself. We don't have the key. Yes, please do that, Mr. Wright. No! Stop! What is that? Is that a blood stain? Well, you guessed wrong. Ms. Woods is guilty. Yeah, what if I had run out of lives there? Just as I expected. Your lies have all been blown to bits, Mr. Tonate. I'm confident DNA analysis of this bloodstain will confirm that it's Detective Arm's blood, and that those results will conclusively prove that you murdered Detective Arm. How about it, Mr. Tonate? Think you can dismantle this decisive evidence? That's good. I like it. I like it. Dismantle it. You're too late. You missed your chance to run, so now you're out of time. This HH-3000 is about to explode. Don't try to threaten us, Mr. Tonate. I've already proved that your bomb is a fake. It's real. This bomb is the real thing, I tell you. It's real. Ha 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 ha. Mad Bomber, party of one. There's no time left. It's going to blow. I have to disarm it. I have to take it apart. I can dismantle anything. I can take apart evidence. I can take apart bombs. I can dismantle it all. Dismantle, 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 dismantle. I'm not gonna make it. Only one thing left to do. Made it. Game over. Dismantle attempt failed. And now he's blind. It's all over. My life has been blown to pieces. It's all that stupid woman's fault. I was selling the bombs I disarmed on the black market. When I tried to take this one, she just had to notice, didn't she? She confronted me in courtroom number 4 that day. That's why I had no choice. Before I knew what I was doing, I hit her. It's all her fault. While I was looking for a place to hide her body, she left a message in her own blood. The trial was about to start, so I didn't have time to clean it up. Now, All this. I thought for sure I could disguise her death with an explosion. Then that stupid defense attorney started sticking his nose into my business. After my testimony yesterday, I went to courtroom 4 and I found that kid all up in my grill. I mean, my bomb my bomb transport case. That's when I snuck up behind him and BAM! And when the idiot police arrested that little girl, I thought for sure I could pin it all on her. Why? Oh, why? Ted Tonate, you are hereby under arrest on suspicion of the courtroom bombing and the assault on Mr. Justice. Your innocence or guilt will be determined at a later trial. An even harder trial. Now then, I see that members of the public have returned to the gallery. One person, however, seems to still be running far, far away. Be that as it may, I will now announce Ms. Juniper Woods' verdict. Woo! You did it. Court is adjourned. December 18th, 12:31 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 5. You did it, boss! Yeah, I guess we managed to pull it off somehow. So many mysteries cleared up all at once. It was amazing. It just sort of worked out that way, didn't it? That's not the kind of thing that usually just works out. You made it happen. I hope it's biodegradable confetti. This courtroom is right over the... Japanifornia is going to have an earthquake, break off, float into the ocean. We can't have that confetti out there in the ocean. It's pollution. And the way that mean old prosecutor hightailed it out of here, that was great. Mr. Wright, Thena, thank you for everything you did for me. I'm so happy for you, Junie. Now you can go back home to the forest in peace. I hope the both of you will come and visit me there sometime. That would be nice. Thank you for the invitation. I don't know, Mr. Wright. I'm not so sure you could make it all the way up to Junie's house. How high up do you live again, Junie? Around 3,000 feet, I think. What? That's no forest, that's a mountain. Okay. But you know, boss, there's something that still bothers me about the case. One little mystery that we never got around to solving. Oops. Oh, that? Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Is this the unsolved mystery you're thinking of? Who knows? It could be anything. It could be my badge.
Take that!
The remote switch, right? Of course. Always right. P10 always right style. Yeah, I wonder where it disappeared to. Maybe Mr. Tonate just got rid of it somewhere. Yeah, it is a pretty big thing to leave unsolved, though. Well, let's leave it up to the police to find. I understand this would normally be the defense attorney's job, but let's leave it up to the police. For now, we should be celebrating our not guilty verdict. I guess you're right. Hey, I know. Junie, shall we go report the good news? You know, to that certain someone? Ano hito? Okay. Huh? Her grandmother? No, silly, to Apollo. Oh, right. Well, why don't we all go to the hospital together to see him? Great idea. I bet he's bored out of his mind. I bet he's bored into unconsciousness. Okay. And so, the courtroom bombing case came to a close. But the next trial was just over the horizon. There's never a dull moment with so many lawyers in the office, that's for sure. Apollo Justice Athena Sykes, and me, Phoenix Wright. Between the three of us, there's no case we can't solve. When our powers combine, we're an unstoppable team. At least, that's what I believed. Whoa. Ominous! Well, no kidding. You did. It was already ominous. You don't need another line. But all of that changed with what Apollo said to us that day. It was something that would put my faith in us to the ultimate test. No idea what date or time. Write anything agency.
Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence.
Wait, what do you mean by a leave?
Can you at least give me a reason why?
I can only say that this is something I must settle on my own.
Oh, why, Apollo? Why are you shutting us out?
What happened to you, Apollo? Ever since you put that jacket on, you've changed? Is it And now, for whatever reason, all my mind keeps doing is returning to the day I first met you. Is it Von Karma's jacket? Has he been possessed? We had tackled our first case together, he and I, this past spring. Wait, his arm is all bandaged. Is it actually Von Karma's arm? And as we did, I came to... Okay, I missed what it even said. It was a very peculiar case. One in which the victim was killed by a mythical... Was killed by a mythical creature. We only believe in ghosts here. We don't believe in other mythical stuff. End.